So I need to refresh the page. Let me just make sure. Alright, what's going on here? Are we live or not? According to that we are, so YouTube. My channel. Live. Ah, there we go. Right, let's zoom in a little bit. Move this back a little smidge. So as you can see, I haven't actually done anything from when we was last on. So I'm going to finish this row with you guys. I'm going to zoom in a smidge more. Let's see how that looks. I think that'll do. I'll just quickly finish this bit. I know it's not quite in the centre of the screen, but we're going to be stitching this tower shortly, so just had my breakfast. I actually fell asleep after that last live. Just had a little 40 winks, woke up and I've just done myself an omelette. And now we're going to finish this. I'm going to join this row back up, and then we're either going to try and do a row with what we've got left, because we have got a bit of a gap, or I will end the live, fight with my frame and get the fabric rolled up, get a picture first obviously of all its glory, because we've got a bit of pattern at the top that's not on show. So I will literally take it off the frame and reset. Don't worry if you guys haven't been able to jump on with me while I'm live. I'm just here for the content upload. Cats are settled again. I've got Trixie next to me, and then the other two are at the end of the bed again. I'm actually quite proud of myself because I've washed my pots. And it may not seem like an achievement, but for me it is. I can sometimes get a little bit, people would call it lazy, I would call it not motivated to do my housework. Adulting, don't like adulting. But I have done a little bit today. Right, before I start another thread, I'm going to push these finishes to the back. There we go. This one, oh. And this one. Because then we'll be ready just to get stitching. Right, I need 3078. Got quite. I looked at my statistics on my videos, and those that are subscribers, thank you for returning and viewing my videos. There's 58% of you that are already subscribers that are watching, but there was 42% that were what you call it, you're not subscribed. Now, there's no pressure to subscribe obviously, but if you're enjoying my content and you don't want to miss out, maybe hit the subscribe button. Then at least it's on your list, and well, I will be doing a fair bit of content, so it will show up on your homepage because you're subscribed. If you don't want to miss my next live, hit the notification button and you'll get notification when I do go live. I do pretty much just jump on as and when. Don't do schedules as such just yet. I am going to look at doing schedules in the future, but I don't really want to put no pressure on myself to do these content videos. I feel like if I jump straight in with scheduling, I'll just cancel and won't do them. So it's working at the moment just to jump on as and when I feel like it. Waffle away and stitch while I waffle. For anyone who's thinking, waffle, what is she talking about? That is basically what waffling is. I talk and talk and talk about nothing in particular. It's just a saying, I waffle on. But yeah, anyway, I'll do the obligatory beginning of the video description, which we are stitching on Mother of Dragon, which is by Alexandra V. Back. It's a Heaven and Earth Designs piece. I'm stitching it on 25 count Easy Guide Zweigart. I'm doing 1/1 full cross, which is obviously 4 cross stitches with 1 piece of thread, and we are stitching Royal Rose, which, for those that are new and unsure, Royal Rose in the simplest of terms is a 10 by 20 block that we concentrate on, and we park below in the dungeon. It's not needed in the dungeon. We park in the next 10 by 20 block, the east tower, and if it's not needed in either, I end the thread to the tower that is joining, like to the next to the east tower. I think we came up with a phrase for that, but off the top of my head I can't quite remember it. So yeah, basic terms, 10 by 20 block, and then when we come to stitch our parked threads, we start with our lower, oh no, that's wrong, hang on, sorry, I'm just marking off stitches at the same time as talking, and I just pressed all stitches on page, which I don't want. All stitches in square, park that one. So yeah, as I was saying, when you come to stitch the next tower, you'll have parked threads in there. So the trick is to put all your parked threads up out of the way and grab the first one. And if you've been doing the Royal Rose method, as I teach, you shouldn't have any stitching above where that parked thread is. There shouldn't be any threads in the way, because you park in your first available stitch and you just stitch down the tower, and when you've stitched all those parked threads, yeah, just fill in the gaps. I tend to try and do it least to most, because then that way any start threads will get anchored down by the higher stitch count. So yeah, if you need a more in-depth description, feel free to ask and I'll try and be more in-depth in the next video. Right, so what we've got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1 more stitch there. Now when I get hooked up on the computer properly, I will try and have the pattern keeper showing so that you can see what I mean with the parked threads and how you should part in the first available stitch and work your way down. It might make a little bit more sense if you can see it on Pattern Keeper. Now I like Royal Rose because you get little mini achievements. Now these Heaven and Earth design pieces can be quite big and quite daunting. It can feel like it takes forever to complete, so doing the Royal Rose method, you get little mini completions along the way. You know, the 10 by 20 tower, that's 200 stitches. So if you get a tower completion, that's one little finish. Then you have the row across the whole project, which is what I normally do. I moved recently and had to start in the middle, but now I'm joining it all back up. But yeah, so normally you get your row completion as well, and then in amongst all that you can get page finishes. So yeah, you get a little bit more, what's the word, achievement along the way, instead of just waiting till stitching to the end and finally getting a finish. Give yourself pats on the back for finishing a tower, finishing a row, and finishing pages. And then the further you go along, you get your colour completions, which shows up on Pattern Keeper. Now normally I would end this thread to the right, but because I've already stitched this tower, I'm going to end it to the bottom, because then it'll get anchored down and then I can push this thread out of the way to the back after. And the same with these ones here. These will get anchored down and I'll be able to push them through. What do I need? 445. I have got 445 parked up here as well because I knew I needed it. So I'm going to nick that thread up there. Yeah, if you do the basic Royal Rose, the extra tweaks are just what you feel comfortable doing as you're stitching. You know, you might come across the one little stitch that's somewhere and you want to stitch it. Go ahead. If it feels right, do it. If you want to park a bit further away, same, go for it. Whatever feels right for you is the right way of stitching. 2. And then if you feel a bit lost along the way because you've veered a bit too far away from the Royal Rose, it's easy enough to go back to basics and just stitch that tower again and get strict with yourself until you feel comfortable veering off the box standard Royal Rose. Hope that makes sense. Now I have got some black threads going on underneath this light colour, which I'm not too impressed with, but we'll see how it looks when the tower's completed. Well, I didn't quite have enough thread there, so I have to get another 445. So yeah, I've obviously stitched all the available thread that I had in that parked colour, and I've got just a couple more stitches to do. Now you can either carry on with the symbol, because again you know that there's going to be no threads in the way because they're all hanging out at the top here. So you can either carry on with that coloured symbol and just get another piece of thread, or you can come back to it later. Carry on stitching with your parked threads and come back to it later. I vary, it just depends on how many stitches is needed. And there's not many stitches needed with this, so I'm happy just to start a new piece of thread and finish this symbol off. If there was a lot more, I would maybe leave it till the end. Wait to get all these parked threads stitched, because then we've got an anchoring point with all the unfinished stitches. But these unfinished stitches aren't really going to anchor anything down, so we may as well just stitch them now. And when I say anchoring down, I mean when you're stitching at the back of the fabric, it's holding threads close to the to the fabric. So like for example, where I've just ended these two pieces of thread here, when I stitch this little 10 by 10 block with whatever stitches it's going to be, the threads at the back, these threads at the back, they're going to get covered over, hence anchored down, so my stitches won't come loose due to ending the thread. That's that colour done with. And we're going to end that thread down here. I'm going to save that piece of thread because it's still quite long and I'll be able to get a fair few stitches out of it when it's needed later. So I'm just going to put it back on my floss card. Mark those stitches off and then highlight my next available stitch, part thread even. And we have one stitch with this. Now, I don't know if that's needed anywhere. Let's have a look. Again, you'd normally just park in this tower below, aka the dungeon, or this tower to the east. But this one's already stitched and I don't think it's needed in this dungeon. And when it's needed next is quite a way away, so I don't really want to carry it all the way over here, I don't think. Let's have a look. It's that one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Might do 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could park it there. Just depends. Yeah, there's a bit too much travelling thread going, so I'm not going to park it there. I'm going to end it. I could have parked it there, but I don't really like that. It's not going to get anchored down because this bit's already stitched. Now if it was down here I wouldn't mind because it would get anchored, but I'm not happy with too much travel. I'm not going to keep that piece because there's only 42 stitches left of that colour and I have plenty of that colour, so I'm just going to chuck that bit of thread away. And then we've got this stitch up here. This one's a bit longer. And again, I don't think it's needed, so I will end this piece. But with this piece, I will keep the thread because of how long it is. I'll get a fair few stitches out of it. And there we go. I'm putting that on the floss card. Number 19. Number 19. And then we'll grab the next part thread. Well, mark that off first. It's just one stitch. Let's see if it's needed anywhere close by. Nope. So again, we're going to end that piece, which I don't mind because there's only 102 stitches of that one left. I could save it because it is quite long, but again, I'm not going to because I have plenty of that thread on my floss cards already. And there's only 102 stitches left, so I don't mind waste. Because when I kit up new projects, I tend to just buy new. I don't really like it to have a stash as such, and if I've got loads left, then yeah, fair enough. But for the odd little bits, nah. I'll end up with far too many threads in storage. I'll end up chucking them, or well, just chucking them. I've got a lot of little one stitches here because it's at the top of this, top of our arm. That one's just the one stitch. Three of this one. Two. Three. Oh, this one needs to be ended down here because it isn't needed anywhere close. Oh, hang on. Might help if you have a look, Ali. No, that one can be ended. There. Snip it, chuck it, because there is only 47 stitches of that colour left, but it's not in a close vicinity to park, so we'll just get rid of that bit of thread. I'm going to have the same issue with this one, 301. This one only has 56 stitches left, so we'll stitch what we've got going on here. Just have part that. Not in the first available stitch, but it's okay, working around it. It's all good. So I can go down here, snip snip. Sorry for knocking that then. I've got this colour. 15 stitches left of this one. That's 4 of those 15. Oops. So by my calculations, that should be 11 stitches left when I snip this and mark it off. Yep. What have we got on this one? Oh no, we're over here first. Is that one needed anywhere? Let's have a look. Don't think it is. I think there's pretty much just 2 or 3 colours going on down here at the moment, because we've got her arm to stitch. I'm going to end this one a little bit further over here, just so that we don't have too much bulk going on. Shouldn't have too many more finished threads going on in a moment. That one. Now I have got yellow to stitch over these darker colours, but I'm not overly concerned because it's not tons, so it should be okay. We'll keep an eye on what it's pulling through when I do the yellow stitches, but it should be okay. It's not white. If it was white, then yeah, I'd be very concerned, but shouldn't be a problem. This towel will take a little bit longer because of all these little ninja stitches, but we'll soon bruise through the rest of it. I'm sorry if I keep knocking the camera, I'm just in a bit of a flow. It's not the frame that's wobbling, it's the phone. Because of the poor mount that I've got, I need to get a new one. It's doing its job, but got a little bit of, it's too wobbly. Let's make sure that's not in the back of there. Pull that one over here. That's a long piece of thread, so I'm going to keep that, which is 3858. Oops. And still got quite a few stitches of that colour, so I don't want to chuck that away because we run out. So that's that one. This. Oh, what have I just done there? I'll bring you guys back. There you go. Oops. Oh, I've just done it again. Keep punching the... I need to move my Orts jar, because then I might not knock the camera so much. The Orts jar is right behind... Orts jar is right behind the camera arm. And when I put the thread, my wasted thread, in its little jar, keep catching the arm. That one can go there. Also got my scissors there as well. Right, last colour of this top bit. If anybody is watching live and you are chattering away in the comments section, I apologise. I will check it shortly. I'm in a flow. It's funny when I'm stitching, I'll hear my phone beep that I've got a message, like a Facebook message or something. And I'll be in the flow like I am now, and I'll think to myself, right, well, I'm not stopping midstream. I'm going to, or mid-flow, I'm going to finish this colour and then I'll check my phone. And then I get that into my stitching that I'll then pick up another colour, start stitching, and then I'll be like, oh, I was meant to check my phone. So then I'll say to myself, right, I'll finish the tower and then I'll check my phone. And yeah, 9 times out of 10 I forget. So if you ever message me and I haven't replied straight away, I'm probably stitching and just totally forgot about it. My poor boyfriend has to deal with that. But he knows if I don't reply, it's either I've fallen asleep or I'm stitching. 9 times out of 10 I do reply straight away. But when you're in your tunnel vision bubble of stitching, it's hard to switch it off. You don't really want to stop just in case you get too distracted and don't finish what you were doing. That's that one. And that, oh, I've got one more little ninja stitch. Let's close that 722. Oh, that didn't quite work. I've got some fuzzies on that one though. It's better. Just bung it there. Let's soon get anchored down. I've only got 143 of that stitch, so I'm just going to bung it over there. I did just start that thread, but when I was sorting my threads, I got a bit snip happy with that colour, so the length of the thread is a bit shorter than I would normally have. Right, so I'm going to push these ones back just so they're out of the way. Outside. They're not in the way of stitching, I just want to move them. I will be careful with the snag nut bit because it's going through stitches. My eyes aren't quite as good as I thought they were. Let's snag that end tail. And then we have that one goes down there. Let's be careful, don't want to rip the stitches. And that. And then we'll fluff it back up a bit. And there we go. Can do that one. No, I'll leave those ones for now because I'm not sure how anchored down they are. What colour we've got? 3078. Should know that one by now. Got a bit of a knot. So. Alright, now we'll steamroll ahead with this colour. There. The rest of the tower is this colour, so it shouldn't take too long. So as you can see, that kind of pulled a bit of black up there, so I'm going to correct that. I'm going to go the other way so that we're pushing it down as opposed to pulling it through. I don't want to pull up all these dark colours. I feel like it'll mess the pattern up a little bit. So yeah, for anyone who does have that issue, you know, when you bring your needle up and it seems like it's pulling the darker thread through, just push it back down and try and go the other way, or get your snag nabbit and push it back through to the back. There's always ways around it. So for example, with this one, I don't know if you can quite tell, it's a little bit darker. I'll get my snag nabbit. I can see the darkness around this stitch here. So what I'll do is I will get my snag nabbit and I will just tease it through gently so that if there is any little black fibres, the darker fibres being pushed through, it's getting pushed to the back. Let's try it with this one as well. It might just be my naked eye that could see that. I don't know if it picked up on the camera, but we'll see. There we go. Now to my naked eye, that is much better. Still a little bit of darkness, but I don't think it's going to be noticeable in the grand scheme of things. It's just one little tiny section of the big project, so I think we'll be all good. Got to switch my extractor fan off, so if you can hear that, and have been hearing that the whole video, I do apologise. Forgot to switch it off. Another dark thread through, but that's one stitch. Look, this stitch is going to push it back. Yes, perfect. Sorry, I'm not as chatty on this one. This lighter colour needs a bit more attention. I don't want to miss any stitches. It's almost like doing white on white. It can mess the eyes up a little bit. So I do just want to make sure getting my stitches right. Oops. It's pushing up some dark thread. Push that back down. Remember to blink, Ali. My eyes are going really funny. Oh dear. We're getting there. I'm staring that intently though that my eyes just went real funny then. Forgot to blink. Now while I'm stitching this bit, it is anchoring down all these stitches, these end threads from the top here. Obviously if I didn't have to start stitching in this new flat from the middle of my project, it wouldn't have been an issue, because they would have just been parked to the right. But I didn't have the luxury of being able to do that at the beginning of the year, so I had to work with what I had. My eyes are going really funny with this colour. This needs to be ended because I'm not playing chicken, especially when my eyes aren't right. So I can just go down here. 3078 again. We've got a piece up here. I have to push these bits of thread back because now they're anchored down. When you are pulling the threads through over, like between stitches, just try and make sure you get the hole and not the thread, because if you get your thread stitch, you might rip the stitch. You don't want to do that. Whereas if you make sure you get that snag nabbit going down the hole, you should be okay. I have been, I haven't had any issues. Just depends on what size snag nabbit you're using. I'm unsure what size I'm using, but I have got a finer one as well, so if my stitches are too tight in there, I've got a thinner snag nabbit that I can use. This one does the trick, but I am cautious of it still. I knew I was going to do that. No, that wasn't in the hole. Let's just split there. Let's push that back. That is anchored down. So, my hand-toe eye coordination's gone off kilter because this colour really is messing with my eyes. But we're getting there. Another advantage of doing Royal Rose, you can get out of the same colour hell as you move along. You're not restricted to that one colour for too long. Depending on what project you're working on, obviously, but if you've got a lot of block colouring, it moves it along a little bit better. Don't worry guys, your TV or your speaker's not broken. I'm just not talking. I'm concentrating. Got cat hair in the way. Oh, now I've stitched it in. Oh well. Did I stitch it in? No. Just pull that needle up there a second because I want to push these threads to the back because they are now pinned down at the back. To be fair, all of the threads are now, but we'll wait to push them ones. Don't want them getting in the way, being pulled through. Try not to push that orange one up that I've just put down the back. Should be okay, because when I come to stitch that next row under it, it should push it back down. So I'm not concerned. I knew I was going to have to try and work around some of these darker colours that I ended down here. But I think we're all good. There's no major issues. Like I said, it's such a small area for a big project, so even if there is the slightest tinge of red being pulled through, I don't think it's going to be noticeable in the grand scheme of things. Keep an eye on it. Oh, my tablet's dying, 5%. Good job it's just one colour that I'm stitching. Oh, that battery died quick. I can switch that off a second actually. Conserve the battery while we're doing just this one colour. That must mean my YouTubing phone must be going flat as well. Might be a lot left. Hopefully we don't lose connection before I finish the tower. That bit of thread needs to go away. 3078. Oh, shall I go another bit? 8. This should be the last rethread. The joys of having cats. Get the cat hair everywhere. No matter how much you lint roll and hoover, it goes everywhere. Last 3 rows of this tower, and we're done. Another little mini completion. Well, a couple of mini completions. I'll have completed another tower, and I have completely joined this row up. Little mini achievements along the way. It's always a good boost. I am going to pull these end threads to the back when I get to the end of this row within the tower, because they are going to get in my way, I think. They are anchored down now, so I have no qualm with cutting them a little bit shorter. Try and keep, I don't want to keep them all the same length because otherwise I end up with a ridge. We don't want that. Let me just push that one down first. Finish this stitch. Bring one back up. Put that up there out the way. Now let's push these end threads back so they're out of my sight. These two can be cut a bit shorter. That's it. And now we can push all these to the back. Oh, drop Snug Nabbit Alley. Angie, oh my god, the row is almost done. Yep, we're nearly there. We're on the last little bit. We're getting there. I'm just trying to be extra cautious because there's some quite dark threads at the bottom here. And I don't want them to take away from the yellow. Not them shining through. Don't think they will, but a little bit of caution never hurt anybody. That's just been pushed down to the wrong bit. There we go. Oh, just drop this Snug Nabbit again. Come on. See, I'm getting excited because I know I've only got 2 rows left to do of this tower. My hands are getting all like, woo! Get in there. Piece. Come on. Nice and gently. Side. That one. That one. That one. I'll leave that one there for now because it can be anchored down a bit more. And now I will just so I've got my finger at the back as well. I'm just going to do a bit of this just to flatten them out. That's what I do when my towers are that way as well. My end threads are that way. We just smooth them down. And then get this tower finished. Now I normally end up back this way so that I can park there, but it's not a major issue because we're doing cross. I'm not overly concerned. Might just do what do they call it when you just do the one leg all the way across and then finish it on the way back? My brain's frazzled, I can't think what it's called. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Let's just get to the end of this row. Oops, missed a stitch. Railroading. Is it called railroading? I'll show you what I mean right now. So, last row of this tower, and I believe this is railroading. You just do that first leg of a cross all the way across. All the stitches on this row, so I know I won't miss any of them out as long as I hit every hole. Yeah, I believe it's railroading. Right, and then go back and finish the stitches with their last leg. We're nearly done. I'm not going to try and count down because I'm just focusing on not missing one. I think we've only got 2 left to do there. Yes, last one. Park it underneath. Yay! Now, I am a little bit concerned with this dark area here. But, again, as I've said, I feel like in the grand scheme of things, that is a very small area. If I zoom out, you can't even tell. So yeah, I'm not concerned. We have a full row again. Isn't that typewriter? I thought the railroading is when you stitch in between 2 threads to lay them down. Neat. Now, typewriter is when you complete your stitches and you just go down, across, well, across, and then you come back across. Railroading. No, it's not even called railroading. Yay! It is awesome, Angie. We'll figure it out anyway, what the other thing is called. So yeah, if you look closely, we have literally... Oh, let's zoom back out. This is the top of her arm. And this next row that I do, I think it will make a little bit more sense. But yeah, that is the top of her arm. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to now disappear. Okay, thanks for explaining. No problem, Angie. Thank you for commenting. Like I say, I might be wrong with the railroading. I don't know. I'll research it and put it in a post on YouTube, what it means. But anyway, we've joined the row back up. Now I'm going to disappear. I'm not going to show you me because my hair's a mess. Well, actually, you can see it in my tablet. Oh dear. Yeah, my hair's a mess. I haven't brushed it today. So yeah, we're going to disappear. I'm going to get this scrolled up so that this next row is up here a bit more comfortable stitching. I'll get a picture of it when it's out of its while it's out of its frame. Words are failing me at the moment, so I am going to disappear, and I'll see you all again soon. Very soon. Maybe later, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Thanks for joining me again. Love you all, but not as much as cross stitch.